and the founder of PVW Marketing, and we are a Google partnership. And what that means is we have access to Google information, access to a lot of inside things, softwares, tools that other people just don't have. And Maria up here is one of the partners of the company. And I have been a computer geek since the very first CPM system came out back in like the 1920s, I think. So I've stayed along with it. I have two furniture companies, which are office companies. One liquidates large corporations, and then the other one sells new furnishings. So by being in that world, I'm tied into architecture, I'm tied into real estate, I'm really entrenched. And so one of the things that I want to start off with right now is I want you, each one of you, tell me what your discipline is in like 2 seconds, like, hi, I'm an architect, hi, I'm a developer, and let's just get a feel for who's in the crowd.
I went to real estate.
Okay, perfect. Engineer?
Real estate agent.
Okay. Oil and gas. You laid off or are you working? Just kidding. Sir. Cool. Perfect. Okay. I'm sorry? Oh, cool. Education. And animator. Great. Oh, another one. Young lady. Professor. And a speaker from this morning.
Yes.
Perfect. What I want this to be, I don't want to be standing up here preaching to anybody. I want it to be very interactive. I usually reverse, rather than people saying, well, at the end we have questions, we have like 20 questions. I would rather, if you guys have questions right now, fire them. Halfway through, 1/4 of the way through, go, Larry, stop. I don't understand that. Okay, so it's an interactive session rather than a speech up front. One of the things we do is try to get a client experience to them from what they've been dealing with in architecture and design. So anybody who's been in architecture and design knows what that is, right? 90% of the firms, and I don't care if you're Gensler, Ziegler Cooper, if you're local, PDR, all of the firms are still doing this. They then turn out, we're doing one for a headquarters project, we'll show you up here. We actually walk through, it's a 40,000 square foot space, it's an incubator space, and they want it to look like Google. And the issue was, nobody knows what the space is going to look like. So PDR, God love them, turned out a 72-page PDF of what the space is going to look like. So the developer's going, I have no idea. This is going to cost me a fortune, and I don't know what it's going to look like. Let's just flip on client applications, and we can show that one over on that side real quick. There. So trying to bring that experience together. Which one was? No, it's probably developers over on the bottom. I created this in the last 2 days, so she didn't see it yet. She's been driving around the countryside. But what we did was film the space. So because we have Google technology, we use Google Street View technology where we'll use cameras on special rigs where you shoot around, you shoot HDR, and then you take those imageries, you stitch them together, and you convert it into a Google walkthrough. That's the one up there, that headquarters. And there's the one there. The photography's fine, just to give an idea. There we go. But it's a nasty warehouse space. And before we started filming, we had to get rid of the homeless gentleman on the side over here. I'm serious. It's over at Navigation and Canal, so they're trying to start something that they're trying to start something that really makes a difference. Got it? No, they're trying to make a difference in terms of the whole community in that area. So they're trying to build that. But as you walk through that space, this was the first time. If anybody's heard of BizNow, which is the real estate organization, they had the BizNow meeting here where I was one of the speakers at Workplace of the Future. And in that space, nobody knew what it was going to look like. And so what we did was put a big screen, and you want to flip over to the other one. We created just a very, very simple SketchUp file that we converted into a 360 tour. to be able to go and have the client be able to walk through a segment of the space so they could see it. So when the developer saw that, they started going blue columns and furnishings, and we can do this, we can do that, and it pretty much changed the whole concept of what they were doing. Yes, sir. There is a tool. There's several of them. There's KR there's a few others that we use. So depending on what the magnitude is, the depth of what we have to create, there's different software. And then this whole process typically starts out, I'm going to go back to the very first page. It starts out with a client need. I need 200,000 square feet. I need this, I need that. And up here, if you just click on this a little bit, the questions that come up are what are the benefits to a client through this process? Because it goes, just like we had up there, it goes client, real estate broker, architect, and down the line. So some of the points here that we're looking at is clients cannot visualize. They look at this. My wife, for example, we were building out a space. She had a plan like this. Sat with the architect, and we went through it. We looked at it and said, "Is that okay?" And she goes, "Yeah, I think it's great." We got in the car. I said, "You didn't understand that, did you?" And she goes, "Larry, I don't have a clue what he was talking about." Now think of that. Okay, I'm a CEO. I'm not going to ask a question. I'm not going to look foolish in front of a group of architects or professionals. You're like asking a question in front of a doctor. I'm not going to ask the question. So when I saw that, it's like, we really need to do something to switch that over and help, like it says down here, bridge the gap between the architects, designers, and clients. Go to the back. So again here, clients, and then the real estate brokers, architects, contractors, and developers. Not one of those can spell VR. Okay? They just can't. I work with Gensler. We went to room with Gensler, and they use BIM software, and they use all this fancy stuff. The problem is the clients don't want to pay for it. A rendering. Gensler will charge $60,000 to do free rendering to M&G Bank here in Houston, and they paid it. And I'm going, what are you, crazy? But every other client, albeit that guy, so let's say we do a 360 tour, we charge by the number of panos in a room. So if I were to do a room like this, I might have one at the door that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, let's say 6. So we charge, let's say, $150 for 6 panos. That is nothing to be able to give a client an experience in a space to actually see what it's going to look like. However, they still don't even want to pay that. So you have the problem of that client, the brokers going, I'm not giving up my commission. The architects are like, well, we have to show them something. We don't know what to show them. Contractors are totally out of it. And then the owner and developers, like you and I were talking about, they're spending millions and millions of dollars on these spaces and just don't know what they look like. So let's go through some of the client applications over here. Go to any of them. Let's go to we just filmed matchhouston.org, and it's arts and theater program here in town. And this, they are the clients using for promotion. Yes, sir. A pano is a bubble or panoramic. So with my vision here, I can see my feet, I can see the ceiling, and I can see this. Breathe that. Then I walk back here, and I'm 20 feet back here, and now I look down, I look up, I do the 360, and now we blend bubbles together. So it's called a panoramic. It could be called a bubble, like a photosphere. Yes, a photosphere. Yeah, so that's what you do is you stitch them. So then the next thing is if they're promoting their space for a theater company, they want to be able to show that to their clients to be able to promote it. Let me just turn this off. Everything else. Flip through there, walk up to the space. Over on the right, we've integrated a floor plan of the space. And you can enlarge it, you can shrink it. So if I'm playing a theater, go down to the one at the bottom where the maple floor is.
Which one?
Shine up on the ceiling.
Oh.
And zoom in. So if I am an art director or a theater director, I want to see what that lighting looks like. Okay?
So I can zoom in all the way to the details of the lighting. I can zoom into a junction box where that light's attached to. So you have a space like this, which they promote, and they go back down to the lower left of the floor plan. That pretty maple floor is.
Oh, in gallery?
There, gallery. So if I'm going to do a dance theater program, I want to see what that space is going to look like. Is there enough room to put on a show? Or is the audience going to be there? Maybe I want to do an art gallery. I can look up the lighting. Do I need to bring in my own lighting? It really gives one an experience as a promotion tool, what that space is going to look like. We were talking about animation, things like that earlier. This is what, see that? We have a 50 megapixel camera, which really gets into detail if you need it. Let's go over to, we'll skip this and go to Silver Street. And part of what we're going to show you is we're going backwards. These are finished spaces. Then we're going to show you under construction spaces, and then we're going to show you pre-construction, and then what they look like raw. Okay, just to work our way backwards. This is one, I don't know if anybody's familiar with this Theater Street. It's right over on Washington and Silver, basically, Silver Street. And it's a complete studio. They're building 360 art studios in there. You could be making jewelry, artwork, or anything. So they wanted a really interactive experience. So up here, that's Kelmy's area. And so what we did up there was actually build in, like a piece of art, her website. So anybody that stays on her page can zip around. And one issue that this all brought up is the fact that typically right-brained people who are artists, jewelry makers, anybody that's really super creative is not a good marketer or salesperson. They all admit it, and they're just not. So what we're doing is giving them the ability to take each one of their studios, like you saw on the floor plan down here. Each one has a unique address. So with a Google Street and the Google Business View, we can tie those together. So if you're looking for fine jewelry in the Heights area, our site will pop up. So we're helping market. So they'll pay like $3 a month to have us go in there, film this, and link and click to it. So I'm Kelly, I'm the artist, and I want to get my point across. So click on the, we then embed a video. So standing right there, hi, I'm Kelly Reese, and I'm an artist. I've been doing it for quite a long time. My medium is actually tree bark, and I like to do watercolor and other materials on the tree bark. And I'll invite you over to my place, over at this location, and let's see, can you show me where she's located? That's the floor plan, that's the space, and then where is she geographically? That one. So that's the tie into the Google map. That's what us being a Google person has the ability to do. So the fact that I can now help 360 people market for $3 a month is just amazing, and be able to see my space. And then we'll come back and we may charge them, I don't know, $200 or something just to reshoot it if they change out their artwork. So it's a live interactive tool with video, locations, everything about it going on. Click the little Lone Ranger mask. Everything we create is in virtual reality mode.
Wow.
So you can slap on your VR, Google goggles, the cardboard, and be able to walk through that virtually.
Even from your cell phone, for example.
From my cell phone.
Perfect.
So I put that on, I
Yeah.
look through there, and all I do is stare at those arrows, the Google arrows,
Goes up.
and I walk through the space.
Is that an API you're getting? Is that a proprietary API, or is that one you're getting from your Google partnership?
It's the Google partnership.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And again, not promoting what we do, but this is something to be marketing. I was just in the cafeteria over there, eating at like light tea, which I'm not, and everybody was looking at their phone.
Yeah.
Everybody, other than the person holding the Coke and the whatever. So what does that do to a marketer? What does that tell you? If you're trying to sell by sending out flyers, too late, guys. You better be looking at what that young generation is doing out there. They're staring at their phones. So if she wants to get attraction up here, let's go up to the fine art. You can go down through there, go down to Serrano Galleries. Those are all the artists. You go back up to Valentino, you can now search for jewelry, art, things like this, and again, we tie right into the Google tour. We tie in Valentina's information. There's her website. There's all the links to it. So we call that a Google interactive tour, where everything is right there at your fingertips to help people market and make money. And if any of you are going to be involved or make money, right now with this economy the way it is, what does everybody need? Business. They need sales. They have to survive. And if you come up with some little tool or some way to help them make money, it's gold mine. Okay? Go back over to go to TriStar. We're going to jump ahead to these. And I'll just run through these. This is a 92-year-old man who owns TriStar. He went to Ziegler Cooper, which is a major architectural firm here in town, and he said, I want you to build out my space. They're like, okay, great. So they build out a space, they do a SketchUp fly-through. He looks at that and goes, I'm about to spend a ton of money here. I don't know what that is. So Ziegler reaches out to us and says, hey, can you help us? Yeah, give me your SketchUp file. So within like a week, we turned that to stop right there. That is a fully rendered SketchUp with high-end materials, virtual walkthrough Google tour. Okay? That's not a photograph, that's actually the rendering. So what we were able to do with that rendering was then put right alongside the actual photograph of what that looked like when it was complete. It was identical. So thanks Ziegler Cooper for coming up with really nice details. But I have the kitchen. See, so instead of her clicking around, she's going over here, she's looking for this button right there, which is called the hotspot, and I can put them anywhere. So there's the kitchen. So that guy was going, oh, now I get it. I like that. You know what? I hate the aspen on the wall. Get rid of it. Okay? He didn't say that, but he may have. He just spent $12,000 for a piece of mural on the wall. But again, you look at the detail. People we work with, they'll put in the apples, they'll put in the Carrera stone, they'll match the carpet. And then again, he now was happy. He was thrilled. The architect was thrilled because we were behind the scenes because we have an affiliate program where they take our tools, mark them up, and resell them. And then I also own a furniture company, like I said. Well, lo and behold, I get a phone call from a project manager that says, hey, we want to bid on a project. It's called TriStar. I want you to bid furniture on a project called TriStar. And so one of the people in my office goes, he said to her, do you need the CAD plan? And she goes, no, I've already walked through the space. And he goes, what do you mean you walked through the space? She goes, no, I virtually walked through the space. Let me send you the link. So here's the guy who's the project manager sending out all this information and didn't even realize we already had that done because Ziegler Cooper didn't tell him. So the hardest part, as we were talking earlier, is to get people to realize the power in what this can do. And several reasons. They're too cheap, they don't want to spend the money, but all you do is show them this once, and they go, oh my God. So for us to do a space like that, which had, 19 panels, let's say 20 panels or panoramics on it, and it's maybe, just say, $200 to create that, that is nothing.
What's the cost in you putting it all together?
That's everything.
So each of these hotspots is a panel rendered through SketchUp?
Fully rendered through SketchUp and 2 other software tools that we put together.
And then you map them on that large map. Do you create that graphic of the map?
Yes.
Okay. And then
Yes.
the cost is bringing it all together.
Yes.
Right. How much does that cost roughly?
Figure $200 per bubble. Let's say there's 10 bubbles, so it's $2,000 to create them.
Okay. And that's
Yeah,
it?
That's it.
But all the programming and all the buttons?
Everything. Everything.
Really?
Everything.
We're going to be in touch.
Sounds like you're overpaying right now.
No, I'm not. I don't have access to this because he has proprietary Google APIs.
Yeah.
So what I want to do is put this on the website.
And there again, Ziegler Cooper, you go look at their site, it's pictures. What are they doing? Pictures? Come on, people. They said that they are a leader in the woodlands in terms of architecture, buildings, and we're trying to get them to put, right now, instead of flat photography, put up those things. So go over to the CBRE, CBRE guys. They are the largest real estate firm in the world. So what we created for them was West Houston out at Briar Park out there was a quick little location of all their properties for sale. We had liquidated the company called Stat Oil, and they were switching over to CBRE. So on something like that, what she just did, she took right off of our Google map, pulled this up, was able to check the listing on LoopNet, find out all the information of each one of these buildings. She can go to the satellite, she can go to the map, she can do everything. So go over to the green one. So what they wanted to do was highlight one building, which is the Statoil building. So the CBRE broker, everything here we create. So over here we do a complete rendering of that building, the Statoil building, and then click for a floor plan. Now here's the broker going, well, you're going to be coming into the second floor, fourth floor. They go, yeah, fourth floor is fine. So do you see what just happened? Click over here.
That is cool.
Okay, so we can go right up that floor. One of the issues architects have is how do you stack a building? How do you show a client what's on each floor?
That is cool.
Okay, so we built this ourselves, and now if you want to see what that floor looks like, the way it's currently built. Now you can actually walk around on that floor. So when you take it, okay, so you can start there, you can go up the stairs, you can move around. So this is a client, it's a CEO, she's out of New York. She finds out she wants to move to Houston, and I want to see some buildings, I want to see some things down there. Right now, you go to LoopNet, which is a piece of, you know what, and the information's bad, it's just core. And she's like, so she hires CBRE, and they say, well, there's this nice building called the Statoil building, and I got 20 others for you to see. What does she do? She gets on a plane, she comes down here, wastes a week, gets on the plane, goes back home and goes, that sucks. I saw one building I like. As opposed to that, what you just saw, if I'm CBRE, I go, here are 17 buildings. This one has a waterfront, this one is condos, blah, 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 blah. Click on the ones you want. Flip that over to VR, please. She can put on her Google goggles, she can put on her Oculus and her Samsung, or I mean her Ear VR. Pardon?
Pretty cool.
Thank you. So right now, she's sitting in New York in her office going, oh my God, that's my office? Ugh, I don't want to be in there. I want to be in a different place. Go over to the Immersive Bank one, the CEP.
Here's another example of an office space building.
Yeah, there's another one. Our friends at Boxer Property, you guys know those guys. They have a bad reputation in town for having crappy buildings. They're trying to upgrade, they're going to try to get into Class A buildings rather than C's and B's. So what they want to do is run some analysis and analytics on do these work. So they're able to lease space a lot faster because that CEO sitting up in New York, she can go, you know what, I like that one. I love the way this building looks. Tell you what, I want to see that one, and that one. I'm going to get on a plane this morning. I'm going to be in Houston. I'm going to stay the night because I have a friend. I'm going to have dinner, and I'm on the plane out of there the next day. That is major. Now, the problem is the real estate brokers are all guys of my age, 38. And they pick up the phone and they go, hey, John, you're a broker, aren't you? Yep. Well, I'm looking for some space. Why don't you and I ride around the car for the next 48 days and we're going to find you some space? What am I trying to do? I want to cozy up with John. I'm going to take John deer hunting. I'm going to take him out to the ranch. I'm going to make him feel so guilty to use me that he's not going to go talk to Cressa. He's not going to go talk to Transwestern. He has him locked up. So guess what? He is scared. He doesn't want this. I can't take the guy hunting. I can't take the woman to a Broadway show, or I don't like this stuff. So what is happening? Like I said earlier, you walk out there, everybody has a phone. So now it's going to be, I need some space. I don't know John anymore. I'm 25. My boss just told me to go find space. So I'm going to get on my little phone and I'm going to go to Aardvark Architecture, okay, Billy Bob's Designer, and that's what I'm going to search. And next thing you know, I lose my position, he loses his position. But you're going to have a 25-year-old person shopping for space. That's going to change everything. Like I said, I'm 62, but all the people my age, little boy, not anymore, it's changing. So if you're not hopping on that bandwagon really quick, you're going to get lost, I promise. Flip out of this. Oh, the other thing too, we private label for the clients. So I like to hide in the background. I don't need to be out there. So we can put a Ziegler Cooper logo. We can put a Box of Property logo on there. We can put anybody's logo on there. Also, while we're out there filming, we shoot a 50 megapixel. If you want some really good portfolio shots, we'll shoot those as well, and then you just pay hourly for that time. We're already there. So as opposed to setting up a entire shoot for the client, which it'll take us 2-3 hours to do a shoot, then we take all the high-res renderings, or the high-res photography, and then sell that as part of the package for a couple extra dollars. So it makes so much sense compared to what's going on right now. Flip over to close that. The broker applications. Yeah, here, flip over to this one. That's called a white box space. They rip out everything in the inside, and then they white box it. So it's all painted white, ceiling white, everything's white. So again, I'm this lady, the CEO up in New York, and I want to see that space. I now see that space, I like that space, I come down, I negotiate a deal, and now it gets turned over to the architect. Architect creates something called CDs, construction documents. They send it over to the MEP, which is the electrical and mechanical engineering people. And then what they do is they send it to a contractor, get some preliminary bids, then they go to furnishings and carpet and FF&E, which is furniture, fixtures, and equipment. All of that happens. The problem is half those subs never see the space. So what we do is white box it. Ziegler Cooper hired us, go white box that space. What did they pay for that? Under $1,000.
Wow.
They then send this out with their request for proposal or their RFP. And now all the subcontractors look at that. All the plumbing, the furniture people, everybody gets to see what they're about to encounter. Okay? You know how much money that saves? I'm a good old boy contractor. I don't know what's up in that there ceiling. I don't know. It could be pipes, plumbing, I don't know. Add another $1,000. CYA. That's what they do. So one of the things we do is we're able to drop the TI dollars, which is tenant improvement, drop the TI dollars down by these guys padding things they don't need to be padding, and we save the money for the clients. Go to architecture application. This is Ziegler Cooper, a very, very good firm here in town. First thing they said, well, check out our space first. We want to see our space. So this is one that we did for them. That's their floor plan. And you can, like there, she's going back over there. You know, look around there, look up at the ceiling. Wow. It's pretty damn impressive.
It's a cool space.
So they go to their clients with that and go, look, this is our space. Imagine what we can do for you. And you can walk through here. One of the designers who was managing this in marketing, right along here, they had some blue recycling bins. She made us get rid of them. We photoshopped them out. They had a cup, smoothie cup sitting there. We photoshopped that out, put their logo on it, and to be able to create their experience, not mine, theirs. Because the next client walking through the door may want a space like what they have. Now they can show it. So like I was talking about the Woodlands, which is north of here, they really need to be creating like that CBRE map. Every building they did, we could take a drone, fly a drone down to that building, or take Google Maps, Google Earth, zoom down in that space, and then, and then they can actually take their clients and say, tell you what, see who we are? Look at all these dots on this Google Earth. We can show every one of you, every building we did. Let's click here, okay? Zoom down to the lobby area. They look around, go, wow, nice entry to the building. Let's go into the lobby. Let's look at the elevator banks. We can even make it so that they just stand here like this and look at an arrow in the elevator, and we could open the door and they step out onto the next floor. That's cool, okay? So you can actually tour a space, a building, and if I'm the client, I'm gonna go, wow, you know, they did all these buildings in the Woodlands? Huh, I'm in the Woodlands, maybe they can help me. Okay, what else we got in the next one? Do this one, zoom in on that. We were in the Wall Street Journal for this home. This is an architect woman here in Houston who designed this totally sustainable house The old home that was there was torn down. Every bit of material was reutilized. And then she created this. So on the left-hand side of the floors you can go to, it's a 3-story house with a basement in Houston, guys. And then over there, you walk in there, there's bits of information. Like I said, this was published in the Wall Street Journal, and there was a contest for it, and she won the contest using our technology. But you can walk, go to the living room right there. If it was darker in here, that's the 50. Zoom in on the sofa. The sofa is mohair red, it's beautiful. But you can actually see it. And you look at that on a PC, it's just absolutely amazing. So she was marketing this home. There's a basement, there's a wine cellar, there's pretty much everything in this house. And this is the way she wanted to, there you go. This is where I wanted to hang out. Wow. Actually, I was trying to get them to put a cot here for me to sleep. You can actually see the year like 2014 on these bottles. So to talk about quality, to get to a client to experience something amazing. Close out of that one. Let's see what else we can do back to home. Go back to here. Go to your contractor applications. Contractors have a tough job. They see this. Okay, two-dimensional floor plan. You can't picture that soffit up there. You cannot really picture what that detail. As an architect or a design person, that bugs me that it's sticking out past that wall. See, he's shaking his head.
He is too.
Right? Maybe we can stick some file cabinets in there.
Finish that to the wall.
But this is the AIA, the official AIA space here in Houston that we filmed for them. Zoom up to the ceiling too. The details up here, the ability to zoom in. They went out to bid for concept ideas to every architect in the state of Texas. So half those people couldn't get here, so they sent this out to them and said, okay, you guys want to bid on this? You want to do the base thing? Here's the drawing and create something. So then they awarded it, and now it's being built out. But they knew exactly, okay, there you're out in the garage area. Go back to Al Capone's hole. But picture being able to look at this. You're in Amarillo, Texas. You don't have to drive for days to be able to look at a space. There. We joke about Al Capone's hole. Okay, go back that way and flip over the other side. Okay, you have dual buildings. Now picture, look out the other way where the chair is. Come back down. Picture, come down here. Push that up. Just on the screen up. There you go. Picture designing this, okay? Architects. You get dual buildings, by minutes, okay? You get dual buildings, and how are you going to control that? How are you going to handle that? Now you can zoom right in. Look, you're right in. You can see right the rebar right there. Wow. Okay, so now what are you going to do? Okay. Anyway, go back over to the main page. Back over here, the developer house. That was some raw space and some under construction space. And then go back down here to applications. Close. Go down one. Perfect. Okay, that was the one. Anyway, if you can see where we're going with this, and the ability from an architectural standpoint to give a client an experience that's affordable. Okay? Gensler, $65,000 damage bank. Couldn't believe it. The next thing that's going on right now, which you're all going to hear about shortly, is called change management or outboarding. And architectural firms, you guys listen up, are now promoting that to clients. And it's the psychology of moving from one space to another. And there's a whole market out there for that, where they charge a fortune. So this has the ability, where's the CMEX one? Oh, CMEX. My furniture company just was awarded the CMEX project out at I-10 in Gessner. And the architect, real Mr. Technical, couldn't produce what we produce. That is the furniture that we put in. We were awarded the contract. The dirt walls, which are demountable partitions, and zip over to those pink cubes in the middle. What they were doing, the architect, was putting in pink, and I mean hot pink, fabric on those knoll walls. And I personally drew this myself, just because I wanted to show a point. I was looking out the window, so we put all the windows behind there, so if you want to look north on Gessner, you can see it. Yeah, that way. But picture the 60-year-old guy like me sitting in a pink cubicle after I just came out of a really nice private office. I ain't gonna be happy, okay? So, the architect changed to a dark burgundy, this color, and they opened it up, they put some privacy in there, and now this is in the HR hands, educating the people on what their cubicle, what their space, what their component listing is, what size is my top, will my monitor fit on, should I have dual monitors, single monitors, where's my storage, do I need files? All those questions can be now answered under the change management program using this tool. So this isn't for the architect, basically, that's for the HR department. It's a whole new world because of the psychologies, okay?
If people want to edit those models, do they have to go back through you?
Yeah.
So I want to move this desk
Yeah, for
somewhere
sure.
else, and they go back through you?
Yeah.
Through the panel.
Okay.
And one of the reasons we're very, very successful in doing this is we are Johnny on the spot.
Okay.
They have a drawing back to them within 1 hour.
Wow.
So that one area, see over there on the right where all those bookcases and shelves and everything is, they started changing that. They're going, oh my God, they're all shelves. These clients have files in there. What can you do? Sit tight. Bang, take it, restitch it, fire it back at them and go, here, does that look better? Oh. Now instead of stitching it all together, we just may take a fly through on a sketch of rendering to say, is this what you want? Then when they say yes, we go back and stitch it. Okay. I am done with my part. What are the questions, thoughts, ideas? And the key thing to take away from this is clients don't get it. They cannot spell the R. They are scared to death and they don't want to pay a dime. So what do you do and how do you do it? You start off with lower prices, you start getting in there, start building a portfolio for your own company, your own space, and start showing them what they should be doing, okay? But you can't walk in there and say, hey, I'm gonna charge you $20,000 for that. It isn't gonna work. Any other questions at all? Was this helpful? Everybody enjoy it?
So for home realty, do you see them adopting this as well? Like, I mean, you could have like, I think I saw somebody in there had branded,
Yeah.
20th century,
21.
cardboard,
Yeah, there's-
cardboard, send it out.
Who's gonna, okay, real estate, residential is way ahead of commercial.
Yeah.
So on the residential side, there's a camera called Matterport.
Yeah.
It's a $5,000 camera, you slap it on there and you let it go, and it's a nice free-flowing path
space, yeah.
through, the whole space, and that's what they're using.
Yep.
But
But
does it give you the street view walk through the house, or?
yeah, same exact thing.
You can
But
get an
again-
axon view of the whole house through the
Right.
Matterport scan.
Yeah, they have
And dive
really,
in any room.
a nasty looking little choppy dollhouse.
It is choppy, yeah.
That you walk into, but once you're in, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And they're just gonna look at that, but again, who's gonna pay for that? So let's say it's $1,000 and I'm trying to sell a home and I know my house is beautiful, it's gonna make a lot of money, I'm not spending $1,000. I don't even wanna spend the money to stage it.
Can you work remotely, Larry? Can you, like, if I'm your client in California?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, will you fly out to take pictures, or you just do that locally?
We have Google partners.
You have people that can come out?
Yeah, Google people. We have one right now that is a real estate firm out in San Francisco. He wants his office shot.
Because the big draw for architects, I mean, I won't speak for, by the way, Gensler is representing in the audience there, buddy.
Oh, I didn't know you were against it.
Oh, yeah, man. The big draw is having this stuff available on
Jerry
the
Gibb
website.
loves me, so don't worry about it. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Having this
Judy
available
Bessett's
on-
husband used to work for me, so if that makes it easy.
Having it available on the website is the power. Because like you said, everyone's here.
Yes.
And then if you can go through the floor plan, and I've seen a couple firms do this, you've answered all the questions on how they're doing it.
Right.
It's really access to all these proprietary APIs that allow you to stitch
Yes.
this stuff together, which I don't have access to.
Yes.
And I've seen firms, I've been to firms' websites where you can do what you're doing here on the phone, and then you hit that VR button, and you stick this thing in cardboard, and you are there.
Every one that we
And
do.
and I saw one firm do that, and I was immediately like, we need this now.
Yeah.
Because I saw someone else do it. We got to be there. And I thought it was a huge cost, but it's really not that big of a deal.
Now, a lot of people, they can't do the interactivity
Yeah.
that we do.
There's a lot of programming there.
They can't do that, but we can do that fast. Yes, sir.
So does this interactivity, like, is it stereo VR with 2 separate cameras, 2 separate eye points, eye views?
Yes, it's 2 separate points.
Yes,
it's
separate
full.
eye views, so it's
Yeah,
not-
it's full. Do you want to reach out and touch it?
It's full VR rendered each eye, and then he's either using rendered VR panels or actual pictures.
Look on the VR at the top right there, the little mask. Show them. So you go there and then you click on that, and now you're VR.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
So it's 2 different. I'm out of time. Any questions? Ideas? Thoughts? Yes, Mr. Gensler. Arthur, I presume.
Where are you going to be hanging out after this?
On the hallway waiting for you. All right, thank you all. Seriously, thank you all.